we're back.
I can't believe we're doing another one.
I know. So this is good. So far, so good. And I'm Steve, and you're Joe, and we're having some fun with the Casco Bay Breeze. What are our topics today?
Well, we're going to do some sprucing.
Sprucing, okay.
And some sporting.
Naturally.
And some shuffling.
Now, is that card shuffling, or is that like shuffling your feet?
A little bit of both.
Oh, okay. All right, great.
And, of course, Shootin' the Breeze.
Shootin' the Breeze. That's what we do. All right, let's get started.
Okay.
This first editorial is brought to you by the year 1915. It's Hayes Exit Bug Fluid. Rid your house or cottage of these summer pests. A pint is 25 cents and a gallon is $1.50. H. Hayes & Sons, Middle Street. Exit Bug Fluid. Well, I guess there you go. That's marketing for you. Hey, take it away.
A Plea for Beauty, 1914. We have often wondered how many of you summer residents, and winter residents as well, realize that you have certain duties to perform to Casco Bay, to the island on which you live, to the rest of us other residents. Too many people seem to think that once having left the streets of their hometown, they leave behind them all civic obligations and are free to do as they please. They don't seem to be able to grasp the idea that any island in this bay is a community that demands as much from its members as any city. Why do you at home have the front steps washed, the pavements swept off, the grass on the front lawn kept looking green and fresh? Because you feel that you owe it to other people to make your house and grounds a beauty spot instead of an eyesore, and moreover, feel a certain pride in keeping up your property. Why then do so many of you leave that feeling of obligation and of pride at home? Why do you allow the grass to grow at its own free will around your piazza instead of mowing it every now and then? Why do you throw your garbage over the cliffs when you know that a part of it is sure to catch on the upper part of the rock and remain there in all of its unloveliness?
And don't worry about the water quality or anything, but okay, go ahead, sorry.
Or the seagulls.
I know.
Why don't you plant a few flower beds around your cottage so as to add that little touch of color that so often is all that is needed to make a very ordinary house seem wonderfully beautiful? Why do you throw newspapers and paper bags and so forth on the public roads? Why, to sum it up, don't you do your share in making of Casco Bay the place of beauty for which it was designed by old Mother Nature? Think it over.
A lovely guilt trip from the Casco Bay Breeze. This next ad, brought to you by the year 1907, is actually part of our next story. Chandler's Military Band and Orchestra. Any combination of musicians from an orchestra of 3 pieces to a military band of 40, furnished at short notice. The headquarters, 27 Monument Square. Telephone is 1643-12. C.M. Brooks is the agent.
In 1915, the Dayburn Casino opened. Most people don't know that the casino is actually TEIA.
Oh, okay.
And there was shuffling, as in card shuffling, and shuffling, as in the feet.
Shuffling,
and
yeah.
Dancing. So a superb dance floor fills the long-felt want to be conducted in superior manner by Burns and Day. The opening of the newly built Dayburn Casino Dancing Pavilion Saturday was another epoch-making event for Peaks Island. The building, constructed in the most modern way, with steel floor and roof trusses, and of such dimensions that 300 couples may dance at one time, is situated on the beach at Trefethen's Landing, reaching out over the water, where the 100 windows may catch the cool breath of the sea. The building measures 68 by 108 feet, with wide promenade encircling the dance floor, 40 by 80 feet clear space. The building is high-studded, and the light steel roof trusses give it a firm yet airy appearance. The interior color scheme is olive green. Many conveniences not usually given have been incorporated, such as toilets, check rooms, a soda shop, etc., etc. The music at all dances will be furnished by the famous Chandler's Band Orchestra, giving the finest dance music in Casco Bay.
Now, isn't the Chandler's military band still playing?
Yeah, absolutely. When I was a kid, we would go hear them play at Fort Allen Park.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's the second oldest, longest consecutive working music band in America. Throughout the Civil War, they played. So the 1915 ad for the Dayburn Casino read, "Dancing at the Dayburn Casino, Trefethen's Landing, Peaks Island. Admission, 10 cents. Dancing, 5 cents a couple. Session, 8 to 11 p.m., 2 to 5 p.m. Saturdays and holidays. Chandler's Band Orchestra. Superb dancing surface. Accommodates 300 couples."
A superb dancing surface. Good floor, I guess they're trying to say?
Yeah, I think the one that was there before, or at least at one of the other casinos I heard, was kind of warped.
Yeah. Who needs a sticky old dance floor? Okay, let's shift the focus a little bit. So now we're going to move on to sporting. So this is from 1912. Baseball keeps Americans from actual insanity. Without game, 2/3 of hurried and nervous population would be grinning through the bars of madhouses. Most games are watched with interest, but in silence, even by their devotees, unless an active partisan of the team or of some player, or unless the spectator has money up on the result. He is apt to sit and watch the progress of the match without tearing his collar off and ripping out his hair by the handful. As a matter of fact, the fan is a fan all year round. In the midwinter, he is willing to stand on the windy corner of a snowy street and exchange opinions and reminiscence on players and plays. Some psychologists have argued that it is the great American safety valve, and that without it, 2/3 of the harried, harassed, and nervous population would be grinning through the barred windows of madhouses. The fan forgets, or does not care, that the whole system of organized baseball is as highly commercialized as a railroad system. He is not particularly worried about the fact that he is being lured there so that the magnate can extract the price of admission from him. He is willing to sit in the hot sun all of an August afternoon to watch the hired men play a game that exists because there is money in it. The strangest part about it is that he is willing to fight over his opinions, neglect his business to see the games, and have an apoplectic fit under the excitement of it. So far as he is concerned, it is not $1 in his pocket. The only gratification he gets out of it is to see some man who has become an unquestioned expert hit a ball, catch a ball, or do a little quick thinking to win a game. From presidents down to bootblacks, the whole country goes to the ball game whenever there is the slightest opportunity. So did that seem like an article about the restorative aspects of the game of baseball, or did it seem like it had a little more of a political or editorial bent to it?
It was probably about how the rich are, defrauding and taking from the poor.
It did seem like it was kind of slamming the man.
It was kind of slamming the man.
This next article is from 1908. It's, I'm going to get this word wrong, Chebeg.
No.
All right, probably like Shebeg.
No.
Closer?
Not even.
Tell me.
You shouldn't be allowed to come here during the summer.
I'm from away. Come on, we know this already.
Shebeg.
Okay, good. Well, the sad part about this article is Shebeg wins from Peaks Island, which is, we just report the news. We don't write it. First game of the series resulted with a score of 12-5. Scott's superior work a feature of the game. Saturday afternoon, the Shapig...
Beep.
Yeah. Saturday afternoon, the Shabig boys, with a large crowd of fans, went to Peaks Island and trampled the Portland Nine to defeat by a score of 12-5. The game took place on the Central Avenue grounds and was largely attended by the supporters of the opposing teams. A decided feature of the game was the excellent pitching of Scott, who struck out 14 men of the losing 9, while on the other hand, the erratic fielding of the Peaks Island boys would have resulted in a measure to their defeat had the game been more even. With the new members composed of the summer people on the island, such as Harold K. Morse, a league man of the Putnam, Connecticut team, Joseph McGilvery, and William Royce of Cambridge, added wonderfully to the strength of the Shabig Nine.
So they were ringers, basically. They played on teams in Connecticut and other places.
Right.
Yeah.
The lineup was the strongest presented by the winners so far this season, and would do justice to any semi-professional 9 in the state. Before the close of the baseball season, the teams are to play a series of games for the championship of Casco Bay this summer. So, wrapping up this little section here, we're going to do a quick ad from 1908, which says, "Before you decide on liquor or drug treatment, consider carefully into whose hands you place yourself. Serious investigation by physicians and prospective patients invariably results in selecting the Keeley, the original scientific rational treatment. Briefly, here's why. 36 years of success, skilled physicians, kindly treatment, national health building, reasonable charges, no restraints, no drastic methods, and no publicity. We treat both men and women. No nausea or bad effects. We do not use hyoscine, emetics, or knockouts. Interest booklets mailed in plain sealed wrappers. Write today. The Keeley Institute, 523 Cumberland Avenue, corner of Mellon Street."
I didn't even know they did that back then.
What is this? This is like drug treatment?
It's drug treatment
and drying
alcohol,
out.
and alcohol treatment.
Wow.
And I wonder how successful the treatment program was.
Wow.
Or how different it was from today.
Hey, no restraints, no drastic methods, and no publicity. Someone shoot us a message, tell us what hyoscine is. Let's move on. Now that we're doing that, how about something a little more lighthearted, like a food item of some kind?
Food. Oh, how about this one? Clam frappe.
Ugh.
I know, isn't that disgusting? Well, here's the recipe.
Never disappoints. Let's hear about clam frappe.
From the Casco Bay Breeze. Clam frappe. Steam, clean. I can't keep a straight face when I do this one. It truly was in the newspaper. It's a recipe. Steam, clean clams thoroughly until they open. Drain. Let the water stand until clear. Pour off the sediment and strain through fine linen and freeze soft in equal parts of ice and salt. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
And just below that recipe appeared this article. Fearful massacre, dreadful news from Casco Bay. While unsuspectingly disporting themselves upon a sandy beach, an entire village of clams was wiped out by a troop of city dwellers and entirely destroyed. The captured were treated most cruelly, being cooked alive and then devoured by their bloodthirsty conquerors. Massacred. But to go along with the frappe, you can also have a spring salad. How to make a spring salad. A cucumber, a couple of young, tender onions, and a green pepper diced together and dressed with oil and vinegar, make a delicious spring salad.
See, after a massacre, you just want something light. A nice spring salad sounds delicious.
To cleanse the palate.
Okay, well, it looks like we are once again out of time.
And energy.
Yeah, it could be a good thing. Anyway, just in case you came in the middle and were wondering what the heck we were talking about, Joe and I are going through the wonderful and somewhat mysterious newspaper, the Casco Bay Breeze, which ran from 1901 to 1917, mostly covered issues about the islands and goings and comings of people in the hotels and things like that. So that's what we've been covering. The editors of the paper had no lack of little editorial comments and sayings to say. So, Joe, why don't you take us out on one of their fantastic pearls of wisdom?
Well, one of the things that the Casco Bay Breeze was famous for was keeping track of the comings and goings of guests. And
right.
Just before they started publishing the Register of Tourists, they advertised, and it said this: watch for it. Most interesting feature of the Breeze will be published next week. The Register of Tourists will be corrected weekly and will appear on the 7th page. The Casco Bay Breeze famous tourist register will be inaugurated in our next issue with a complete list of the regular guests at the houses usually represented therein.
And that's what they would do, is they would not publish those things if the hotel didn't buy an ad.
The arrangement will be about the same as formerly, except that possibly smaller type may be used in order to fit more on the pages. Remember, if your name isn't there, don't blame us.